Very good morning, children. Children, today we'll start with lesson number 8, that is static electricity. Okay, now what we are going to see in this lesson that we'll see now. Okay, here are a few examples. The first example is, children, you have ever noticed that a plastic comb or a ruler rubbed on a dry hair, it attracts a piece of paper. Have you ever done such kind of things? Yes, right? Second, if we pass near a polyester curtain again and again, it gets attracted towards us. Right, children? Third example is that if we rub a blanket with our hands and take it near a metal object, a spark is seen in the dark. Yes? Have you all ever done these activities at home? Yes? Our elders or your parents do not call it activities, they call it karname, right? So have you done any sort of karname like this? Yes, right? Children, what do you think is the cause of all these effects? Yes, these all effects are due to what is called as an electric charge. Okay, electric charge in the sense not that type of electricity, it is a different kind of electric charge. What is that? We will see now. What do all the above observations tell us? They tell us that electric charge hold in abundance in all our objects in the surroundings. Okay, and electric charge is stored even in our bodies. All substances are made of very tiny particles, right, children? Agree to it? Yes. Electric charge is an intrinsic property of these particles. Though in this way electric charge is abundantly present, it is always in a hidden state, means it cannot be seen with our naked eyes. This is because two opposite types of charges are present in equal numbers in all these substances. Okay, when the positive charge and the negative charge on an object are balanced, then the object is said to be neutral. That is, there is no net charge on the object. And if these charges are not balanced, then the object is said to be charged. Okay, children? Next. Children, now you would have something in your mind that how would two charged objects interact with each other. Alright, children? See figure number 8.1, repulsion and attraction. Okay, now you all might be wondering what are these terms, right, children? So we'll see detail about these. For that you have to do an interesting activity. Rub one end of a glass rod against a silk cloth. Okay, due to the rubbing, a small charge will get transferred from one object to the other. and as a result, both the objects will become somewhat charged. Suspend this rod freely in air with the help of a thread. Now, charge another glass rod in the same manner and bring it near the suspended rod. What will you all observe? The two rods will push each other away. Okay, this, children, is a very much important observation, and this activity is very much easy and you all can do yourself at home. Okay, now take a plastic rod, rub one of its ends against a woolen cloth. Okay, and you will repeat the same thing, that is, bring that end near the suspended glass rod. Now what you all will observe, the two rods are pulled towards each other. Children, just remember, formerly the two rods pushed away each other, okay, and now the two rods are pulling each other. Okay, what did you find in the first experiment? Two rods carrying similar charges push each other away. Children, just keep this in mind. What did I say? Two rods carrying similar charges means same charges, they push each other away. Okay, and this is what is called as repulsion. Okay, and from the second experiment we have seen that rods carrying opposite charges, they pull towards each other. Okay, and this is what is called as attraction. Children, have you all seen a magnet? Yes, a magnet has two poles, north pole and a south pole, right? Have you ever seen that south pole and south pole is together, or north and north pole is together? Never, right? Always the north and the south pole are together. Okay, the scientist Benjamin Franklin named the electric charges as positive charge and negative charge. Okay, children, now what is the origin of electric charge? All substances are made up of particles, and these particles are ultimately made up of very much tiny atoms. Okay, at this stage it is sufficient to know that each atom contains a positive charge and a negative charge. Children, it is said that an atom is electrically neutral. But why it is neutral? We had seen this earlier, right? When two charges are perfectly balanced, that is positive charge and a negative charge, then it is said that it is electrically neutral. Okay, children? Yes. Now, we are seeing that all objects are made up of atoms, which means that they are electrically neutral. Then how does the objects become electrically charged? Okay. Children, the reason is that due to some reason, the balance of electrically neutral atoms gets disturbed. For example, when certain objects are rubbed against each other, the negatively charged particles on one object go to the other object. Okay, the object to which they go becomes negatively charged due to an excess of negatively charged particles. Similarly, the object from which the negatively charged particles go away becomes positively charged. And it means that when two objects are rubbed against each other, the one is positively charged and the next is negatively charged. Okay, children? Next. Now, there is a chart given here, right? First column is of object. Next, whether paper pieces get attracted, yes or no. You have to answer only in yes or no. And the next, does the object get charged? Okay, you can yourself try at your house these activities. Okay, first is balloon, next is ball pen refill, next is eraser, next is wooden ruler, steel spoon and copper strip. Okay, children? Children, you have to always remember that each atom is electrically neutral and it has equal amounts of positive and negative charge. And for some reason, if the negative charge decreases, the atom becomes positively charged. Okay? Next we'll see about scientists Thales and Thomas Browne. Okay, about 2500 years ago, a Greek scientist named Thales found that feathers are attracted towards a rod of yellow colored amber which had been rubbed against a woolen cloth. Amber is called as electron in the Greek language. Therefore, the property of amber to attract things was named electricity by Thomas Browne in 1646 AD. Okay, children? Next, we come to frictional electricity. Okay? The electric charge generated by friction is called as frictional electricity. The charge is produced only at a place of friction. Hence, it is called as static electricity. It remains on the object for a short duration. The charges of static electricity are absorbed in the moist air. That is why these experiments should be performed in dry weather, and the suitable season for it is winter. Okay, children? Next is an activity. The things you will need for it is a few straws, woolen cloth, socks or gloves, glass, bottle. What you will do is that place a straw on the bottle, take another straw near it, observe what happens. Leave the straw on the bottle as it is. Rub the other straw against a woolen cloth and take it near the straw in the bottle. Okay, children, you can do this at home. Okay, and observe what happens. Now, take the two straws and rub them against the woolen cloth at the same time. Keep one of the straws on the bottle and take the other near it, and again see what happens. Keep the rubbed straw on the bottle as it is. Take the woolen cloth on which it was rubbed close to it. Okay, and just observe the changes in the straw. Okay, record your observations in each of the above procedures in the chart. Okay, first procedure was what? A charged straw is taken near the uncharged straw. Okay, in the second column you have to write repulsion or attraction? Think and write the answer. Okay, and in the last column you have to write what is inference. Inference means conclusion. Okay, children. Then the next procedure is two straws carrying similar charges are brought near each other. Okay, again you have to write whether it's attraction or repulsion. Okay, children. And the next procedure is a charged straw and the oppositely charged cloth which was used for rubbing are brought near each other. Okay, again you have to say that it is attraction or repulsion and write the conclusion. Okay, electrically charged objects attract uncharged objects. Okay, children. Once again I'll repeat. Electrically charged objects attract uncharged objects. There is repulsion between the electric charges. There is attraction between unlike electric charges. Hence, repulsion is used as a test for identifying an electrically charged objects. Okay, children. Now, children, let us revise what we did today. Okay. First, what did we see? We saw about what is an electric charge. Okay. What is an electric charge? Yes. Children, all substances are made up of tiny particles. Okay. And electric charge is an intrinsic property of these particles. Okay. When a positive charge and a negative charge on an object are balanced, the object is said to be neutral. That is, there is no net charge on the object. And if these charges are not balanced, then the object is said to be charged. Okay, children. Then we saw about an example of glass rod and plastic rod, right? In the first experiment, what we had seen that similar charges push each other away. Okay, and this is what is called as repulsion. Whereas in the second experiment, we saw that rods carrying opposite types of charges get pulled towards each other, and this is what is called as attraction. And children, we also saw about the scientists who had invented the electric charges. Who was this scientist? Yes, Benjamin Franklin. Okay, children. Next we saw that each atom is electrically neutral. It has equal amounts of positive and negative charge. But if for some reason if the negative charge decreases or the positive charge decreases, then the atom becomes either negatively charged or positively charged. Okay, children. Then we saw about scientists Thales and Thomas Browne. Children, about 2500 years ago, a Greek scientist named Thales found that feathers are attracted towards a rod of yellow colored amber. Okay, and it was rubbed against a woolen cloth, and the word electron came from the Greek language. Okay, since amber is called as electron in the Greek language. Okay, children. Therefore, this property of amber to attract things was named as electricity by scientist called as Thomas Browne. Okay, children. Next, electrically charged objects attract uncharged objects. There is repulsion between the electric charges, and there is attraction between unlike electric charges. Hence, repulsion is used as a test for identifying and observing charged objects. Okay, children, this is about today's lecture. Thank you.